Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato and Samantha Perry with you, and we are very happy to be with you back doing what we do best here at Gulfstream Park, racing. We hope everybody was safe and sound after what was we were part of it, a hellacious 2 or 3 days down here in South Florida. So we hope everybody's safe and sound, and happy Father's Day, of course, as well, and you can enjoy this. We're very excited to be back here today.
Yeah, we are. It's a great way to come back. Everybody's refreshed. You look like you've gotten a lot of beauty sleep, so.
Well, I don't know about that, but it was a crazy, hectic few days here in South Florida, and we went through it last year, and it is what it is. But like I said, hopefully everybody is safe and sound. We're very happy to be back here racing. We are off the turf. I think that's no surprise. We were going to take a little break anyway. We're actually going to be back on the turf July 5th. That was the plan. We'll give it, this turf course has held up phenomenally, remarkably well.
Yep, it really has, and it's still in the early stages. Hasn't even been in a year, I don't think, now. So just going to give it a little break, do some stuff to it, and be excited for when it comes back.
Without a doubt. We were going to have a mandatory yesterday. That'll be coming back around very, very soon. But what that means is now on this 10-race card, in race number 5, this rainbow now is at $525,000 in your estimated jackpot. And Ronnie's going to be out here in race number 1. He's got a ticket. Big balloons. And like I said, that mandatory is coming at you soon, but it is not here yet. And they are going to fire on a happy Father's Day. And it's usually a pretty fun day here. Happy Father's Day to Father, Daddy Todd.
Yep, and your father as well, the pickleball champ, so it's exciting.
Champ, I got to tell Ed that. So, all right, let's do it. We'll get to the 10-race card. Very excited to be back here again. We're off the turf, unfortunately, but that is no surprise with what we had to endure here down in South Florida, and Hollandale Beach, I think, really took the brunt of it. So, again, hopefully everybody can come out here and have some fun at the racetrack today. The opener now. We go to a mile and 70 on the Tapeta. It's a $16,000 maiden claimer. These are for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. The tag is 16. We've got some scratches. The 3, Never Enough. The 5, Castle Born. The 9, Tapping Girl. The 8 E's. The 13 and the 14 are out. Michael Hernandez, kind of late, will ride the 12, Miss Holly. It kicks off the early pick 5. Let's take a look at my ticket now on what is just an $8 play, and 4 deep here. And in race number 2, we've got a single of the 2, and that is Yes, I'm a Beast, who's going to be a very short price. In race number 3, Vanishing Wish is my best bet of the day. 4 deep in race number 4, and that goes to the 4. I didn't change anything on the switch. Silveretta is going to be tough in there. And then the very, very short price, Alice Queen in race number 5. And it is also the TT pick 3 here in the opening leg. Of course, it's going to be on Tapeta today. And Samantha, take it away.
Yep, and I would presume now this is our last one for till July 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, you would think so. Being off the grass now. But Tropical Tapeta, pick 3 today. Race 4, that's my single. I've got Silveretta. I think that moving to the Tapeta is actually a pretty good move. She's my best bet today. In race number 7, that ends the sequence here. Just 3 deep. I do have the 3 on top. Gamblin' George. I think Parakeet will run well on the stretch out. We'll get into it. It's a decent sequence, $18 play.
I liked Silveretta a lot on the turf, to be honest with you. I don't have any problem with her on the Tapeta, but I thought she was in a good spot. On the turf, let's get to the opener now, and again, we'll go $170 on the Tapeta here. Top pick the same for us, Eliana, because Ronnie and I were talking. I think he picked her too. She's kind of sort of like the only horse you could bet in here to me. I don't know.
It's really hard to take anybody in this race.
That's kind of sort of what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Del Mar, maiden special weight dropper, hasn't been seen since last August. Wasn't really bet at Del Mar, didn't run at Del Mar, but the good thing about this filly is she doesn't have to be any great shake to take on a field like this. No.
6-1 on the morning line. It was a turf line. I don't think much changes. The point I'm trying to make here is this is a horse that's supposed to be bet a little bit.
Right. You would hope so.
You don't want to see her up there at 18-1 for these guys. Amador is back doing good things again. Couple things I do want to mention, though. She's facing older horses. She was running only against 2-year-olds back then. So there's some hurdles here. fresh new face is just kind of gotta play in here to me. The post is not as bad for Miss Holly with Michael Hernandez on the Tapeta as it would have been on the turf.
Nope, I agree completely there. You look at the Tapeta races, and they were okay earlier in her career, pardon me, but I do think that she's 0 for 7 on the Tapeta. She's still hard to take. I guess this race is very difficult outside of the 7, which it's a lot of questions.
Lot of questions. Citrus Bell's the 8 with good Tapeta form. I think she might move up a little bit. Early pick 4 kicks off here in race number 2. We're on a fast main track, by the way, if I didn't mention that. So Kenny and the crew, what a phenomenal job. I can't even imagine what they had to work with or without. This week. The fact we're on a fast main track is pretty awesome. If you were a part of what was going on down here, that's pretty remarkable. So Kenny and the crew, job well done. It's an optional claimer here in race 2. 6 furlongs again on a fast main track. 4-year-olds and up. The 3 Prince Godly is a long shot scratch. Spitzer Clemente, show them why. I don't know where this race possibly came from. Dirt, I guess, or what?
Yeah, I think so. This was the first time in a long time this horse had been on the dirt, so it's good to see that he came back in sharp form here. I love the post here today. This is a race for me. It's a spread race, but I do like him a lot. He ran huge behind Proverb, who Proverb would destroy a field like this, and he tried hard. You can see, running against horses like Lightning Tones, who actually did some good work around this time last year.
Sure
so
did.
I think that this horse is set up for a big one today.
Double Play King was in there as well. Double Play King was actually my best bet of the day last time, June 6th. He's coming right back on 10 days rest. I mean, he's okay. I don't know. Doc Amster walloped him pretty good.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to beat Yes, I'm a Beast. I understand the races were at Tampa when he got streaking over there. He's 7 for 19 on our main track, too.
Exactly. This horse is a win machine, and this is a horse you can't discount, especially freshened up now from Rohan Crichton Barn.
Rohan's been using the apprentice jockeys quite a bit, and he's going to give Elijah Greenidge a leg up here. They haven't popped together. This is I've liked what I've seen from this jockey.
Yep, I'm a big fan as well, and I think that he puts him in good spots, which is a good thing.
And I think he's going to suit this horse nicely because he's a 7-pound apprentice that knows what to do with a weight break, and he puts horses on the lead.
Yeah,
and it's go, and that's what he's doing anyway with this horse. Race 3, we go 5 on the Tapeta here at a 12-5 maiden claimer. These are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We do have a few scratches of the 1 Miss Athletic, the 2 Nouveau Riche, and the 5 Art Magic Princess. My best bet of the day. Value is long gone, but you've got Vanishing Wish on top too. Just trying something new. Tapeta sprinting today.
Yeah, the 2-turn turf routes have not played out too well. Has some speed. We talk about the Tapeta. Now, we haven't had rain in a couple of days now, but the amount that we got, it's hard to say what this Tapeta is going to do because it has been very humid. Now, usually we say that the more rain, the kind of cooler it gets, the Tapeta tightens up. We'll watch for this, especially the first race in this third race here, because it's going to be a guessing game, I feel like.
I think there's no doubt about it. We're going to have to see how it plays, if the track if it's fast, because we have seen consistently wild splits on the Tapeta when it tightens up and gets wet, rains on it, I should say, and horses don't come back. Take a look at a stat for Ruben Sierra, too. It's good to see this barn kind of ticking over after it had such a good 2023, and this is a good stat for Ruben here at 24% from a very sizable enough sample. I'll readily admit I struggled so hard to make a line on this race because all the horses that are quote unquote contenders, they were 20 and 30 and 40 to 1 in their last race, and they're going to get played today. So I didn't know what to do. I mean, the 7 Mrs. Cashman is one of those horses, has been walloped, quite frankly, is 0 for 14. She is hardly out of the realm of possibility.
No, she's not at all, and you wonder, with a group like this, can you just try to steal it on the front end?
Well, I think that's fair. I mean, certainly there's going to be horses now. And the Vanishing Wish is coming out of 2-turn races. We don't know how she's going to play in here. I Love Venezuela has 2 good Tapeta races showing. They were not with blinkers. They were not with Lasix. If either of those things catch on with her today,
she'll be tough.
She's going to be really tough.
I agree.
I could see her. She's second choice. It wouldn't shock me at all if she ends up going off favorite in here. We're off the turf in race number 4. It's an optional claimer here. We go 1.70 miles on the Tapeta. These are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, and we're going to say this time and time again, nothing changed, and that is the positive aspect of when races move over to the Tapeta. I'll let you talk about Silvretta because I heard you say best bet of the day.
Yes.
She was a pretty strong pick for me as well.
Yeah, the 2 turns was always supposed to be in her wheelhouse, but what I like that Joe Orsino did with her is he gave her 2 races to just kind of get that race fitness. It's just so different getting the race fitness versus the morning workouts.
Yeah.
Horses only do so much in the morning, so the fact that she got those 2 tighteners, then when she stretched out, she made a really nice impression. She runs well on the Tapeta.
Yeah.
I think she trains well over it. Whenever I watch her works, you look at her Newcastle race, that was a 6 furlong race on the all-weather surface over across the pond, and it was a big win. So we'll see if she can see it through today.
Well, the other thing, too, is look what they threw at her here in the middle of the championship meet. Okay, she's on a barn switch. She hasn't been out since late November, and you're going to sprint her 5 on the Tapeta. I mean, you talk about a strong punch in the face. That's just not something she's ready for. She ran okay. How about Joe giving Drayden Van Dyke a leg up? That's pretty cool because he's been riding pretty much for Safi. And I'll tell you what, he's 5 for 9. He's not riding the A+. No,
because usually Edgar Zayas is the main
ridden
guy.
very well.
So, very well.
Yep. I've got nothing too clever. The other reason we like the 4 so much is that Typee, who's, the main danger, we'll call her, boy, she's got no speed at all.
Nope. She's going to have a hard time, I think, especially with the way that Tapeta plays in general. When you don't have any early foot, you don't want to be too far back. You want to be with the first flight of horses, and she's one that I don't know what's gone on with her lately. She's lost her speed.
She's going to have to loop likely, unless she has a change of tactics here. She'll have to loop the field. Okay, 4 down, 6 to go on this Father's Day back here at Gulfstream Park. When we come back, the Rainbow 6 is over $500,000 in the estimate. Ron Nicoletti will have a ticket. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Brian and Samantha. Happy to be with you. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. We've got plenty of them here on the staff, so we wish everybody the best. And we've got the Rainbow 6 coming up now as well. $525,000 in your estimated jackpot. Ronnie will be out here in the opener with Samantha, and he's got the ticket. Let's take a look at it now because his pool now has really all of a sudden gotten very, very large.
It has, and it'll be interesting to see what they throw at it today, too, because they love to punch it in here. You see there's no singles in this sequence. It's a tough sequence with these types of races here today. Race 6, he's got the 2. I feel like the logical horses, the 6 and the 7, Palace Zip and Our Awesome Sauce. I use both of those as well. Race 7 off the grass. The 3, Gamblin' George, I think will be tough, but a couple of others. Then you see in races 9 and 10, a 3x2 double. Please do not punch that. But the 1 Entendre he's got in the mix. I think that's a spread race. It's a tough one as well, but that horse looks good. 1 Sharp Cookie facing winners, and in the finale, just 2 deep. The 5 Spirit of Victory and the 8 Cool Tricks. Oh, those are my top 2. I think maybe he copied me on a couple of days reined in.
Well, I'll tell you what, Attendre was bad last time.
Yeah,
I don't know
very
why.
bad,
I thought
yeah.
he was a cinch. We'll get to that in a little bit. This is an interesting race to kick it off because there's going to be a lot of people just ripping the Band-Aid off. We go 6 on a fast main track, state-bred special weights here. These are the fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. And what a catch ride for Ivan Pimentel Jr. because
Yes.
he's going to be aboard Les Queen, who is... she's even on the morning line. She could be 3 to 5 in here.
Yeah,
Show them
she
why.
could. Yeah,
because
well, we'll take a look at the replay because there are a couple exiting this
Yeah.
race, but it's kind of moot point because the way Alice Queen ran was so well.
yeah, and the winner might be okay too.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a huge effort. She kept trying. She ran hard. You see Timely Reward on the inside, just really hardly striding out there. Didn't look like she wanted any part of it towards the end. She kept trying, and that's a good thing to see. Now, the 6 furlongs here, it almost looked like she's got a bit more even style, but
Yeah.
I think for a race like this today, it'll be all right.
She added Lasix, Jose D'Angelo, who's over in Royal Ascot. We'll talk about that in a second. Gave her a little freshening. They can't beat her, period, if she runs that race back.
They cannot.
You've got her on top. The one I want nothing to do with.
Nope,
They
we
didn't
saw
bet her.
it, yeah.
They didn't bet her that day for Safi. Okay, see, we're thinking the same thing here now because the favorite's got speed. She might fry everybody else. And who's this Tampa horse coming over getting Miguel Vasquez?
Yeah, that's something you have to pay attention to. But you look at the races at Tampa, the last race in a maiden special weight, this horse was 57.
57 to 1.
So.
Open maiden special weight. But I like her stalking style. I certainly don't think she can beat the 2,
No.
but she might take advantage of what the 2
Can
does to everybody
Right.
else. Late 5 kicks off in race number 6. We're going a mile and 70 on the Tapeta. These are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. It's a 2L. The tag is 8. Let's scratch out the 3 chilling factor, and let's show you Samantha's late pick 5 ticket.
It was a tricky one. I
Yeah.
had a forced single in the last.
Okay.
So too deep for me here, and we'll get into it. Race 7, I see this pretty similar to Ronnie here. Race 7, I've got the 3 on top, Gamblin' George. Race 8 on top for me is the 3, American Pure. That is my long well, no, not really, an average shot. And race number 9, I have the 7 on top. That is El Principito off of a huge race last time out. And in race number 10, that Spirit of Victory, my single, we'll watch earlier to see how that Miss Athletic race, the Summer Gold race, see how that comes back because there's a horse earlier in the races that is coming out of that same race on the Tapeta. So we'll see. But $18 to play. If it's not the 5, you got a spread, and I just didn't want to. I tried to make this as budgety as I could.
Long shot, huh? Jeez.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, let's get into this one because this could be a little problematic. We have the same 2 horses. Let's show you our awesome sauce
Yeah.
on the replay, tangling with Fantastica, who's on the outside today at least.
Yeah, this was an interesting race because Fantastica, as you see, was 60 to 1 in this spot here, and I felt like just was carried a bit by the early speed that she showed. Now, our awesome sauce, I know, was 16 to 1 here, but ran
Sure
quite
did.
well, and very wide trip, but it was a good effort.
It was, and the winner is Queen Daymar, who was second in the start before.
Right.
So she's in good form as well. I think our awesome sauce is in a pretty good spot here. Palace Zip. I did you pick? Okay, we went the same way here. What do you get from Palace Zip? Because she was good on debut, routing on Tapeta. That's not easy to do.
No.
She was bad last time, and now she's taking on older horses too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff being thrown at her, but she's in a spot,
Yeah.
a good spot. I don't trust her at all.
No, but and they're going to bet her too.
They
It's
will,
Safi
yeah.
and Drayden Van Dyke, and there's she is in a good spot, but I think that's pretty well said. I don't really trust her either. But if you're playing a real ticket, I think you have to use her
Yes.
as well. Late 4 kicks off in race number 7. Now we are off the turf. We'll go at a mile and 70 on the Tapeta. It's a $35,000 maiden claimer. Just the 3-year-olds go at it here. Scratch the 1 Mohawk River, the 6 Sir Mendel. Jock switches on the 5. Trejos will ride the 5. Lionel Reyes will ride the 7. Never say never. Quick look at my late pick 4. This is a very problematic sequence for me.
Yes.
This is absolutely as high as I would ever really want to go. I don't have a single. We'll get into it, and you can see the spread. You kind of mentioned you maybe had a single, in the finale. It's my long shot to 7 Revolue. Unfortunately, scratches are going to hurt value anywhere in that last race. But let's get into the opening leg here. Again, 1.70 on the Tapeta, and we're on the same horse, Gamblin' George now. He's going to have to prove it on Tapeta, but he seems to be in very good form. I don't know a lot about Juan Ramos. He hasn't won a race, but boy, he moved this horse up quite a bit last time.
No kidding. And you look back at the all-weather surface races, because let's be honest, as we're handicapping this on Thursday, as the rain is falling, we know that the chances of turf are not that likely here for a Sunday card.
Right.
Look at who he was running against at Turfway. Encino, that horse came back to win the Lexington for Brad Cox, and this horse ran third to him at one point. So
good Tapeta racing over the winter. And you made a good point. These are all Tapeta picks from you and I. And Iran as well was kind of, picking up what we're putting down, literally what was getting put down here in South Florida. Parakeet, boy, I look at the odds that this horse has failed at. Maybe the stretch.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Just hanging at this 5 for a long distance. Now we're going to get the 2 turns. If it's not working so far, and don't pay attention to the first time out, because I feel like for trainer Wesley Ward, anything past 6.5 furlongs is a route for him. So.
And I'll tell you what, Edgar Perez knows how to read a racing form, and I'm quite sure he knows he's as loose as he wants to be in here. So they're going to go with Parakeet. You take a deep breath for about a minute and 38 seconds and see
hope that it sticks.
Parakeet can last maybe a little longer than that with this group. Race number 8, late pick 3, and that's $1. Don't forget that. We'll go 1/16 on the Tapeta. These are 12.5s, 3-year-olds or 4 and up, which have never won 3 races or a race since 12/16 of last year. Scratch the 5, In It for Love. Scratch the 8, Vintner. Lionel Reyes will ride the 4, Tis a Prince, and you are on the 3. You're way too sharp to think American Pure was going to be much of a price in here.
I thought I would at least get 5 or 6 to 1. They never bet this horse, so that was my thought here. Jerry O'Dwyer, he's left some horses here. He won a race last week, seems like ages ago. Blinkers come off, Apprentice goes on. This horse, honestly, they can't ride a race long enough for this horse the way he travels, but yeah, we'll see.
I feel like people, maybe I had to get hit in the head with a board, but I feel like people are betting class drops on Tapeta more than they're betting figures. This horse was in for 20 against a pretty darn good group last time. He's a big, big threat for me. Uncle Armando. Forwardly, I want to show you a stat first for Dave Fawkes on Forwardly. That's who I went, because I thought the Tapeta win 2 back was pretty darn good. Second off the claim. Dave's not a guy that's going to claim a lot of horses. This is a pretty good stat here. Big positive ROI as well, and he's got the Tapeta win 2 back. Let's show Uncle Armando, who kind of sort of seems to be threatening to find some form again. And speaking of finding form, my goodness, Swan Lake is good again.
Yeah, well, this is the main thing I wanted to show with this replay is Swan Lake was 3-2 and won like a 3-2 should win, honestly. Uncle Armando just kind of...
I picked him that day.
Yeah, you did, and he ran really well. He really did. All things considered, nobody was ever going to catch Swan Lake in this spot here.
No.
And I think he tried hard, which is a good sign that maybe this horse is getting some confidence back, because he's been shaken up in a couple races.
I agree with you. I mean, Captain Anthony ran the second best race there. He just paid the price for tangling with Swan Lake, and Uncle Armando picked up the pieces. But he still, he ran well. I don't want to take that away from him. And I think he's a used today, maybe a little underneath. The 9th is a good one. State bred allowance here for 3-year-olds. We go 6.5. And again, on that fast main track, this is a problematic race for me. El Principito, though, is as I think they're going to bet him. I made him favored. They should, because that's an open company race we're going to show you right here. And now he's running against Florida Breds today.
Yeah, he ran really.
It's a huge race.
Yes, this race, Big Effect is a tough contender. And the way he ran with this horse was just impressive. He was gutsy the whole time, and he hung on his left lead here. You can see him just kind of wavering, but even in defeat, you knew he wasn't going to get past Big Effect, but he still tried hard. He didn't throw in the towel. That's what you want to see. The Big Effect would destroy this field.
And look at the gap there.
Exactly.
Big Effect was 1-5.
Exactly.
By the way, and he made him run. The worry would be, does he pay the price for that? That remains to be seen. One sharp cookie off the win. He finally broke through, Samantha, and as you know as well as anyone, when these kind of horses break through, every once in a while they pop right back.
Yep, they do. It was a good effort to come back and win. This horse has some early foot. I don't know if he'll be able to see it through. You're thinking like I am. I want the 6 to go, and hopefully El Principito can pick it up.
What do you get from Entendre today? Oh boy, he was not good last time.
I'm not a fan.
No.
No.
I mean, the races 2 and 3 back were huge, and they're better than anything anybody can do. But he was 6-5 last time, and he was not even close.
No.
Now he's on the inside. I think you got to fade him. They'll probably bet him again too. Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
I think he's a fade, and that's why we have them both in 4th. Right in a rip for us there in race number 9. Race 10, the finale here on a Father's Day. 5 on the Tapeta. 12-5 maiden claimers here. We do have a scratch of the 3 final note, the 4 Stolen Bullet, and the 6 Invidia del Coco. Too bad Pete can't say that 4 or 5 times in a race. You said you've got a single of Spirit of Victory, who I don't know. I guess he ran okay last time. Summer Gold kind of freaked, and maybe that's why I'm being hard on him.
Yeah, especially with a race like this. It's a hard race in general just to really get a grip of.
Yeah.
There is only one older horse in this spot here. Is a 4-year-old who hasn't faced older only once in the past, and we'll show the replay in just a second. But Spirit of Victory is one of those horses that I don't trust. Like I said, it's a 4th single. You are using this horse in the late pick 4, but a hard horse to trust. But if it's not her, I don't know who else it is.
Well, I've got a long shot in here. If nothing else, Revelo is drawn well, and she showed speed. Kind of maybe got fried chasing last time. The winner got loose, and that's who she was chasing.
Exactly, so we'll see.
Moonlight Vision, we can show them.
This was last year.
Yeah. June 18th. Ugh.
Yeah, it's almost to the day a year ago here. But what I liked about this and what I wanted to show is, look how this was a big, wide, sweeping move this day, and she ran hard. Now, she is going to come back as a 4-year-old. She's not the best traveling horse, but she's another one that she tries hard. I don't feel like, and you hear me say this a lot, Brian, that you don't have to be 100% fit on the Tapeta. Sometimes these races will just carry you. Motown Madison for Safi was a good winner this year.
Yeah, I'll say this. If this race was not 363 days ago and it was a month ago, she'd probably be a pretty stiff favorite in here.
Yeah, I agree.
Her efforts are better than anybody in here. It's good to see Lionel says, sure, I'll ride off this. We get a top jockey, but boy, you got to tread a little lightly with her off this kind of a layoff. Lightning round time. A lot to talk about here, and we're going to do the standings?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I guess why not? It's the first day of racing this week, right? We don't want to cheat anybody here.
No, we cannot. We have people at home that want to see this. Look at this, Edgar Zayas. Keep it on. Yeah,
and Miguel's having such a strong meet. Amicio Jaramillo, Edwin, these are the guys. And, Edgard is separated. We kind of figured he would, but there's a good foursome right there underneath that'll be battling for, those kind of positions throughout. We'll take a look at the trainers' standings, and Edgard's main man is Safi Joseph Jr., I guess vice versa, or versa versa, and there you go.
Yep, it's no surprise here on the podium. I feel like it's going to be competitive still. Jose D'Angelo carries a heavy hand with all of his horses.
Yeah, Team Cassie up there at 14 wins is pretty impressive as well, because the numbers are not there like they are over the winter. The Coast to Coast is back today. It's closing day at our sister track, right?
Yep, it is. Everything has to go today. This will be the final Coast to Coast until Santa Anita returns. So 2 races from here, 3 from Santa Anita. Make sure to get involved there. It's good racing to close the day.
Royal Ascot, Tuesday. And the Americans are going to have a big presence this year. We hope none more so than Jose D'Angelo.
Yeah,
that'll do.
Yep, this horse arrived in England a couple of days ago. Jose D'Angelo's excited. I think it appears that he is there now. Misael Jaramillo went up to ride as well. He's handled every video I've seen from him. He's handled himself very professionally. It's a big difference shipping into somebody's training yard than it is training out of your own stall every day. And he's I'll tell you, for an $8,000 Florida bred purchase, he is very mature. He's handled it very well, so that's good to see.
And he did it the hard way too, winning that race. So we wish them those connections the best of luck. Your best bet today?
It is Silvretta for me.
Silvretta off the turf, but on the Tapeta. But again, all these picks for at least for you and I and Ron as well. We kind of sort of knew that. So, and for me, best bet is Vanishing Wish. One race earlier, your long shot.
Yeah, not a long
Excuse
shot.
me,
Yeah.
something in my throat
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I noticed. Yep.
And mine is in the last race, and it's pretty proper. The Revolu's going to have to reach in there at 8-1, and then what do we got working here?
Oh, just Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, to everybody out there, dad, father figures, et cetera,
Yep.
you name it. We couldn't do it without you. I know probably everybody at the track here has a story of their father taking him to the track.
Yeah, and we got, like I said, many on the staff. Dennis is over here,
Yeah.
Dave and Ronnie as well. So happy Father's Day. Phil's not here, but he's a
Father's Day
father
to him, yeah.
as well. And that's it. So we're happy to have you aboard. Be back racing, doing what we do best. We'll see you out here for the opener in about 10 minutes. Best of luck and happy Father's Day.